When did it become wrong for white people to be white nationalists?
To stand up for their country.
1942.
It became wrong in 1942 for white people to stand up.
Yes, when we ended the Nazi scourge, yes.
Today we have a great one from Jesse Lee Peterson, a God-loving pro-Trump conservative, here with his guest Hasan Piker.
And I'm not a very smart guy.
Hasan is the Young Turks' foster child.
Yeah, I'm fucking better than you.
That loves spewing ideologues and, in my opinion, a terrible ideology, which is that of the far left. So without further ado, let's get into the video and see what we can dissect.
Okay. And so you're okay with illegal aliens coming across the border, right? And you're not for the wall, right?
Yeah, I'm not for the wall.
And you're from Turkey.
And I think that no human beings are illegal. Right? And I think that it would be better off if we treated the people that were coming here to better themselves and to look for better opportunities. If we treated them with the same dignity that we treat all American citizens,
Turkey, right?
Everyone would improve.
You're from Turkey, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so right from the get-go, we can see that they're having overlapping discussions with one another. I feel as though this may be a reoccurring thing throughout the video. It's a sort of little trend I tend to catch while watching these particular interviews.
You're from Turkey. Are you in support of Israel putting a wall around its border?
No, I'm not.
They should not have done that?
No, it's a violent ethno-state. Of course I'm not in support of that.
Amazing.
Israel is a violent ethno-state. Strange argument to have when violence has actually decreased since the border was secured. Having a physical barrier is effective for just a few reasons alone, such as the prevention of terrorist infiltration, weapons and drug trafficking, and its primary purpose of stopping illegal immigration. I don't see people positioning to tear down prison walls or the walls around their own homes. Do you?
And so I want to ask this, if it wasn't for white people, there would be no America, right?
America
it would still
in the
be controlled by the Indians.
There would still be America.
Right?
Native Americans would be living here. It would be drastically different.
Stay with me.
I'm with you.
Stay with me.
We're losing him. We're losing him. He's dying. No.
I'm with you all the way.
If it wasn't for white people, because white people discovered and built America, and then they created a constitution.
Do you think white people are better than black people?
What? Do you think white people are better than black people? Where the hell did you grab that from? Before Jesse Peterson could even finish his question, he comes up with something like that to what seems like to catch Mr. Peterson in an act of prejudice.
Do you think white people are better than black people?
Let me ask you this. And then they created a constitution that would...
But hey, look at that. Peterson seems pretty unfazed by the question, so good on him, good on him.
Allow your mother to come here and have you illegally. Do you
have
think...
you here illegally? No,
fair?
It was a legal process, but do you... Wait, hold on.
Fair? Let me finish my question. Hold on. Is it fair to white Americans to be treated that way? They were kind enough to let you into this country, and you're going to turn your backs on the people who let you here. Is that fair?
You have not established why opening our borders would be unfair to them.
No. Is that fair to treat white Americans that way?
Why do you want to single out white Americans?
Because zero acknowledgement to any question directed to him. Is this how you act as a guest on any program you're on? Jesse Peterson is the host and the interviewer. Let him ask the questions and politely wait your turn to speak.
Because
I think that when people come into this country, it improves everyone's lives.
It's their country. They let you come here.
It's not their country.
It is their country.
But it's not.
Whose country is it?
It's everyone's country. There's no such thing as like this is white country.
Well,
you understand the concept of whiteness
is
predicated around exclusion,
it's white country.
And that the concept of whiteness has expanded throughout time. Hispanic people were not considered white. Jews were not considered white, and according to some white people, they're still not considered white. Irish people were not considered white. You understand that like that concept is expanded. I'm not wasting time. I'm trying to educate you on a thing that you should know about. I want to ask you this. You talk about it. This is very irresponsible that you talk about this concept without actually providing historical context.
We can see he's already hostile with the fact that the United States was founded by white Europeans, claiming it's for everyone. Would you say the same thing for Japan? Can I claim that Japan is for everyone and their history, culture, and unique set of values should be replaced? No, it is their country, and if I would move to Japan, I would be expected to become Japanese and adopt what it is to be Japanese. Different identities and different interests help fuel divide.
If white people had not built America, would you be here today?
I don't know. I have no idea. That would be a drastically different reality.
Is it fair to white people that white men and women, especially straight conservative Christian men and women are hated after they
are they?
And they're called white supremacists. They're
Are
called
they?
all kind of bad names.
Well, white supremacists
Is it
are
fair
called white
to
supremacists.
white people to treat them that way after they have built the greatest country on this side of heaven and allow your mama to come here from Turkey?
Do you not think that black people played a significant role in building this country?
You're not answering my question. Is that fair to white
Say
people?
Say yes or no. Do you think black people did? Do you not think
that
that black
fair
people
to
played a
white
significant
people?
role?
Is that fair to white people?
Hasan has this repeating thing I catch him doing where he will speak over the opposing view to maintain a dominant voice in the discussion to make it seem like his points are obviously correct. But Mr. Peterson is having none of that.
There's no such thing. Like, there's no fairness to white people. This is not a white person's country. Asian people played a significant role in building this country. Who built this country?
They left their country to come here.
Do you not think that black people played a significant role? Do you not think that African Americans played a significant role in building this country?
No.
Mr. Peterson makes a great point after that bombardment of question dodging by Hasan. The first people settled in America were, of course, native, but the founders of America were European, white Europeans who came, voyaged across the ocean to settle and build a nation from the ground up, and sadly, through war, overthrew the natives and the overseeing king's army to achieve independence as a country, before anything else. And it's interesting to me that no one talks about the Spanish being terrible or being colonists. The Spanish conquistadors explored and conquered the Caribbean islands, parts of Mexico, and the North-South American border, just as an example. That's why nearly all countries below the U.S. speak a dialect of Spanish.
Food for thought.
How could you? Whoa, okay. All right, well, do you think white people are better than black people? Let's just get right to it. Do you think white people are better than black people?
Better in the sense that...
Wait, better in what sense?
I'm about to tell you. In that they create and black people destroy.
Holy crap, dude. Oh my God, you have black employees. How do they sit here and listen to you peddle this garbage?
It's the truth.
What a garbage perspective, Jesse.
You think black people are better than...
There's no way you actually believe this.
So
yeah, that's right. Just shame, discredit, and don't open yourself to any other point of view.
There is no way you're honest. You think, as a black man, that white people are better because black people destroy?
In the sense that they build and black people destroy.
Wait, how? What
so
do you
let me
mean
ask you
by that?
this. I have the proof.
You have the proof?
I have the proof.
Okay.
Have you noticed, you probably haven't noticed because we don't have statistics, but have you noticed that white people will allow black people to come into their beautiful neighborhoods, and then the blacks will come, white people will leave, and the blacks, rather than keeping that going, they would destroy it? Have you noticed they tear it down rather than build on it? Have you noticed that?
No, I have not noticed what you're talking about.
You haven't seen statistics on that?
No, I don't know what you're referencing.
I'm
still in awe that you are like a real person who genuinely has this perspective. I thought this was just like Uncle Ruckus in the Boondocks.
No,
like I thought this wasn't like a real fucking person, a real human being who genuinely has this perspective.
Do you notice that blacks create ghettos?
No, the government, the system creates ghettos.
So
no, do you want to live in a ghetto? You're black. Do you want to live in a ghetto?
Does the system
do you want to live in a ghetto?
Does the system live in a ghetto?
Does anyone want to live in a ghetto, Jesse?
Who is the system?
The system is capitalism. It's the American political structure that consistently holds not just black people back, but all people back.
So
they
are
hold
you
black people back
saying
even
that
further than other people on
so
top of that?
you're saying that the system will not allow
Would you like to live in a ghetto?
Let me ask you this.
But
are
just
you
say
saying
yes or no?
that?
Why do you never answer my question?
No, I don't want.
You are garbage.
Because you are not the interviewer, Hasan. This is not your show. If you want, invite him to your show and interview him. But in the meantime, answer his questions.
Live in a ghetto.
Okay, exactly. Do you think other people want to live in a ghetto? No, they're not building ghettos
then why
because
don't
they want to live in a
clean
ghetto.
them up then?
It's not about like.
They're not ghettos when they move in there.
When you're a single mother.
Are they ghetto when they
take care of your children? When a black child has 1 out of every 5 black child in this country has one parent that is currently incarcerated. That number is insane.
And why are they incarcerated?
And I give you. Because of systemic racism, because
Did
of
they
the
commit a crime?
unequal, because of the
Did
unequal
they commit a
way,
crime to go there?
because of the
Did they commit a crime?
Like minor drug possession when white people get off on it,
Did
but
they
black people
commit a
don't?
crime?
If white,
Did they commit a crime?
what is a crime?
Oh, you don't know what a crime is?
What is it?
Amazing. I love that. He just kills it with that response right there.
And I'm not a very smart guy.
It's a crime. I don't think crime is.
You need to go back to Turkey. You don't know what a crime is?
Okay, what is no? I want you to describe to me exactly
I
what
wanna
you
go
think a
back to
crime is,
something
and then
else.
we can talk about it. Because
I wanna
unjust
go,
laws
I want to go back
should
to
be
something
broken.
else. I want to go back to something else you tried to rush away from.
If a law
So
is not
have you
just,
seen
you
have you
break that
seen
law,
ghettos?
Jesse. What?
Have you seen ghettos?
I have. Yes, I already told you.
And have you noticed that
black
when black people first move in those areas, they're beautiful areas created by white people?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't agree with that.
You haven't
perspective
noticed
at all.
that?
No, I have not noticed it.
You haven't. How long you been in this country?
10 years now?
And you haven't noticed that black people turn beautiful areas into ghettos?
Yes, because I don't think that's reality.
You say they're doing it because it's not reality?
No, your perspective is completely broken on this issue.
Amazing.
That you think black people just move into a neighborhood and then like mess it up.
They do.
How?
By,
And why?
First of all, they have children out of wedlock. They don't train their kids.
Like you did.
They bring drugs and crime. They destroy. They don't cut the grass. They don't paint the house. And they blame it on the white man.
Okay.
Are white people to blame for that?
I think the system is to blame, not specifically white people.
Who is the system?
But I already told you the existing.
So are
structure
white
that we live
people the
under.
system?
White people have been in controlling positions
Are they the
for a
system,
very
though?
long time. I wouldn't
Are
say that
white
they are the
people-
system.
Well, who
no,
are
because
the-
white people are also
what
exploited.
color is
people,
the system?
Why do you have to have one specific target?
Well,
Do you
what
not
color is
understand
the
that we can
system?
address systemic
Who
inequality?
is the
Do you not
system?
understand that we can fight?
Who is the system?
It's not a singular person.
But how would we recognize it when we see it?
Is this how you tackle issues at every step of the way?
How-
Is this how you answer questions? By actually answering 1 out of every 5 of them and answering the rest of them with a question? That doesn't help to further any discussion.
Do you know who Congressman Steve Keen is?
Wait, yeah, he's a
Who is he?
white nationalist he's a congressman from.
What made him a white nationalist?
He's white.
Stunning argument so far.
Constantly talks about how you can't have babies with other people's. You can't build a civilization on other people's babies. He also literally supported an avowed open white nationalist for mayor of Toronto, Faith Goldie, who recited the 14 words. So I would say that those are some pretty clear indicators that this person is a white nationalist, if not a white supremacist.
And so when did it become wrong for white people to stand
When
up?
did it become wrong for white people to be
white
white
people
nationalists?
To stand up for their country.
1942.
It became wrong in 1942 for white people to stand up.
When we ended the Nazi scourge, yes.
I think he meant to say 1945, as that year marks the end of World War II. Because that doesn't make sense if the Axis powers were still warring over countries in 1942.
And I'm not a very smart guy.
It became wrong
It was
for
wrong
white
even before
people.
then.
It became wrong for white people to stand up for their country in 1942. You're saying that?
When the Nazi regime
Are you
was
saying that?
destroyed, it became wrong to be a white nationalist. If the Nazis had won, we would probably have a drastically different reality.
So Steve King stood up for his country.
He did not stand
and
up
you're
for his
calling
country.
him, okay.
He stood up for his broken understanding of what this country is that does not reflect reality. This is not a white country.
Okay, so let me ask this. There's a woman in Congress by the name of Rashid Tlaib,
yes.
a Muslim.
Yes.
And
There's two. There's another one.
Right.
Ilhan Omar is another Muslim, yes.
One of them is a lesbian. And so, do you support
Why do you say it like
Rashid and the other Muslim is against America? They're not for America.
Why do you think that?
Do you support them?
Why do you think that?
Do you support them?
Are they against America?
Do you support them?
You have to tell me why they're against America.
Do you support the
I
Muslims?
don't think they're against America.
You support the Muslims?
Yes, I support the Muslims.
But you're against the white people who stand up for their country.
Wait, what? I am against white nationalists.
Is it
I'm
wrong
not
for-
against white people.
Is it wrong
I'm against
for white people-
nationalists.
Is it
if
wrong-
they were fundamentalists, if they were ISIS sympathizers, then I would be against them too. But
Is
if
it-
they are just Muslims, I'm not going to be against just Muslims.
Is it wrong for white people to stand up for their country?
If they're white nationalists, yes.
Is
Probably.
it wrong for white people to stand up for their country?
You have to define what you mean by that. You have to elaborate a little bit so
I'll
I can
ask one
understand
more
what you
time.
say. No. Repeating the question is not elaborating further.
Is it wrong for
Keep scrolling on your iPad, Jesse, but it's not going to make more sense. You got to give me a description.
Is it wrong for white people to stand up for their country?
Is it wrong for white people to stand up for their country? You have to elaborate a little bit further on this. Do you mean white nationalists, or do you just mean white people are standing up for their country in the sense that they're fighting against racism, they're fighting against inequality? In that, yes. It is absolutely correct and the right thing to do for white people and all people to fight against this sort of thing. But if it's white people saying that this is a white-only country and we need to preserve our white culture, and it's a completely flawed perspective that is not real at all, and it is just a fantasy for fragile whites to think that they are.
Is it wrong for white people to stand up for their country?
Okay. Do you not want to hear my answer?
All this stuff you're saying is too long and kind of.
Okay. It's counterproductive.
Is it wrong for white people to stand up for their country?
I can simplify it for you as well if you would like.
You will.
But not
Give me
everything.
a yes or no.
It's not a yes or no question.
Why not?
Because you're framing it in an inappropriate way.
How is that inappropriate?
Because a yes or no question, if you front load it in a similar fashion to what I asked you.
Right here, I'll actually take some common ground in between both points. Jesse Peterson has this thing he does in discussions where he loads a lot of context and personal belief into a question, which some interviewers like to explain further so they're not indirectly saying yes or no to something they might fundamentally disagree with sections of. So Peterson will always try to get a yes or no out of them. But if you pay attention, you will notice that after a yes or no is given, he will ask, "And why do you think that?" or some form of that. And that right there is your moment to settle out any crinkles on the fold.
Which is, did you stop beating your wife? It's a yes or no question.
Are you asking me
that?
Did
you stop beating your wife?
I just told you I don't have a wife.
Okay, but did you stop beating your son?
Is it wrong for white people?
But you didn't answer. It's a yes or no question. But it's a yes or no question. It's not real. You don't have a wife, but it's a yes or no question. Just like your white question is not a real question.
You're not going to answer that question, right?
I can answer the question, but I don't want to. I want to make sure that we contextually are on the same page.
Is it wrong for white people to stand up for their country?
Okay. Did you stop beating your wife?
You're not going to answer that.
Did you stop beating your wife?
I got one more.
Did you stop beating your wife?
I'm a nationalist. I'm a black nationalist.
Are you?
Does that make me black supremacist?
Are you black and also a nationalist, or are you black in the sense that you're a separationist and you want to have a separate black-only state?
I'm a black nationalist.
But that word means something. Does that make me
a black supremacist?
That means something, and you need to describe to me what that means. Are you a separationist? Are you a segregationist? Do you believe that black people should have their own areas?
You're not going to answer that either, right?
No, but I need to understand, Jesse.
Do you stand up
but
for...
You're not
do you put America first? Do you stand for your country, America?
Sometimes, and sometimes I'm very critical of the things that America does.
Do you stand for your country?
Sometimes, I said, yeah.
Does that make you a Muslim nationalist?
Wait, but when you said my country, I meant America.
Right, or atheist nationalist.
That's a pretty good point right there. If you stand up for America, does it make you a nationalist? Whatever background you would like to drop in front of it. If you are an African immigrant and support America, are you a black nationalist? What about Italians? Are you tan nationalist? Greek? Are you olive-skinned nationalist? It doesn't really make sense to put a skin color on top of a nationalist, as the meaning gets lost. If you are a nationalist, then you are in support of your country. You are patriotic and want the betterment of your country, society, and its people. I never really understood why it is so bad to be a nationalist, a common interest between all citizens. If other countries can be proud of their achievements, culture, history, and contributions to human species, why can't we? Thank you very much for watching Don't Be Sheep. Feel free to comment in the sections below. That way we can continue the conversation. Feel free to like the video, and if you want, subscribe. I'll be putting out new videos every so often. But I appreciate you guys, and thanks for coming in. Take care.
Think for yourselves. Don't be sheep.